Neewer sent me this new Q6 600 watt second strobe. It's portable, it has a little handle, you can take it everywhere, it's powerful enough for outdoors, and it's affordable. I'm gonna show you how to do a simple but glamorous one light shoot and how to use this strobe. But first, let's talk a little bit about how the Q6 is built. First of all, I already mentioned that it has this handle, which is nice if you want to carry it or have somebody hold it when you're on location and you're getting some flash, but also it's good if you're just carrying it to location. It comes with this little snoot type thing, but it's a Bowens mount, so it's pretty universal. Any modifier you have that's Bowens is going to fit on here. Let's look at this back interface. Now, there's some things I like about this that make it easy to use, and one of them is the user interface. Every channel has a different color on the user interface. So if you're taking photos from a distance and using strobes, you can easily see which strobe is which channel based on the color. It has high-speed sync and some really cool features. It says that it takes 400 shots on the battery, flash shots on the battery, but I've been getting way more. They say that's at full power. I think that they're being pretty conservative because I got more than that today, and it's still going and it has plenty of battery. One thing that's super impressive is that even though it's small and it's portable, it has all that power, the 600 watt seconds. What does that mean, you're probably wondering? It means that it can produce enough light to overpower the light outside. So if you're doing a portrait shoot outside, then you'll be able to balance it with the sun without being overpowered. We're not doing that today because it's like 30 degrees and Kayla's in a dress, so I'm not gonna put her through that, but it is capable. It also has 10 stops of light, so you can get that super powerful input, or you can dial it way back and just get a little bit of fill. So before we get into more of this light, let's talk about the shoot. Next, I thought about how I was going to style Kayla, and I made this mood board. I had sparkles and glitter and cocoa colors and bronze, and I put it all together and imagined what she would look like. So you can see from the mood board that I have a cohesive color look, but also a theme. It's harkening back to the 70s with these browns, the glitter, the sparkly makeup. Color is super important, not only when you're planning your shoot's look, but when you're using your strobe. And the Neewer Q6 has very stable and consistent color. What do I mean by that? It means whether I'm doing a tiny bit of fill flash with it turned way down or full flash with it like 1-to-1 full brightness, the color is going to remain relatively stable. So why does that matter? I'm using one light today, but let's say that I have three: a hair light, a backdrop light, a filler light, a main light. If all of the colors were different, when you look at your photo, you could have a cool background, a really warm on the face, and it could be all over the place. Now, the Neewer light only varies by 100 Kelvin across the field, which it's like that's technical mumbo jumbo. 200 is considered acceptable, 100 is like professional. And that's where you're getting these professional features in an affordable flash. This is about $600. So you're able to get those studio capabilities without going full price. You don't have to worry about the color. Even if you're not doing a multi-light shoot and you're just using one, when I'm taking photos of Kayla, I might want one darker and using less flash. I might want one full flash to see what that looks like. I did vary in my photo shoot. I don't want them to be different colors because if I'm doing a full photo set, then some of them could be cooler, some of them can be warmer, and that's more editing and post. The stability and consistency is very helpful. All right, now let me show you where I'm putting this light and how I'm setting it up. First of all, I'm gonna put a gel on it. Really, I'd usually put the gel behind a modifier. It's warping from the heat, but we're gonna be living on the edge today, okay? And Kayla, will you stand where you were before? I'm putting this light behind her and somewhat pointed at her back. Actually, I'm gonna have her blocking it, and she is between my camera and the light, so you won't see the light. A big part of this light is then gonna spill off onto my reflector, and then I have it pointing at her face. So even though I only have one strobe, I have two lights because one of them is a reflector. So the flash is gonna come. She's gonna be backlit, and not a silhouette, but very dark in the front and bright around the sides. It's going to hit the reflector, and then it's going to fill her face a little bit, not a lot, so we get this moody look. And I'm imagining like a 70s club. That's why I brought in the canned smokes. It's like, who's smoking in here? Is that even legal? It was in the 70s. Oh, a really cool thing about this light too, if you want to preview what it looks like a little bit, you can put on the modeling light, and you can even change the color of the modeling light if you want it cooler or warmer. I want this warm 70s glow. We're in the club, everything's brown, everything's bronze, everything's gold. It looks really beautiful. And you also can make it a little dimmer, or you can make it brighter. I want it bright. And look, you can see it's reflecting off of here. You can already see how it's hitting her face. So we're getting a little preview of what our photos will look like. Let's start with some camera settings, because I like to get my camera in the right place first. I put it in manual mode. I put my shutter speed on 1/250th. That's what my camera, the max sync speed is. Yours might be 1/200th of a second. I put my ISO on ISO 100. We're in the studio, we can control the lights, so we may as well have a lower ISO so we don't get noise and things like that. I have on eye detection autofocus, and then I also went into my white balance and adjusted it to daylight 5500, because sometimes if it's in auto and you're using strobes, it can mess with the color, and I very specifically chose these cocoa browns, bronze, warm lights. I don't want my camera thinking that that's incorrect and adjusting it. And my aperture, I have it set to f/5.6, but I can change that if I want to. The flash does have high speed sync, which means that I could choose a faster shutter speed if I want to freeze motion. Or if I'm overpowering the sun, I don't have to stop it way down to like f11. I can open it up to f2.8, and the high speed sync allows me to expose it properly while still having a shallow depth of field. So it's a really helpful feature to have. I don't necessarily need it right now because I'm in the studio, but I love outdoor portraits, so I will be using it. I got my camera all set, so next I'm going to my strobe and using the modes that I want. I'm in channel A, which I am on my trigger as well. I have it in manual mode. You have the modes here. So there's multi if you have multiple lights, or you can do TTL, which is through the lens metering. That means that it's gonna send out a test flash. Your camera is gonna see how much flash you need, and then it's gonna choose it automatically so that it's properly exposed. I'm actually gonna use manual mode because I don't necessarily want it properly exposed. I'm kind of going for a dark, moody look, so I want to be able to play with it. I like to play too. I think it's fun. But it doesn't matter. You can use whichever one works for you. So we're in manual mode. This also has photostrobic mode. And you know what that is? Have you ever seen like a picture of a fencer and they're going like this, and then you see like every little movement? It fires a bunch of shots really quickly, flashes quickly, so that it gets that effect. So you could do that if you want to. There's a lot of cool features in this strobe. So let's turn this back around and go to our trigger, and that's the last thing that we have to work on. Look, Neewer also sent me this little flash. It's the FL10, and you can put a light modifier on it. So if you're doing videos of yourself, look at Kayla. I'm giving this to Kayla, by the way. Then you can control your light colors, and get cool different looks just from this little handheld light. So thank you, Neewer. This is very cool. Strobe works with Godox X Series QZ and Q Pro Series triggers, which aren't included. It's wireless and it's 2.4 gigahertz, so it can shoot from a longer distance, 100 meters. And we don't need that here in the studio with Kayla, but having the capability to take photos from 100 meters away means you could set up your lights in the end zone near a goal and take photos from an ideal location. I have to set myself to channel A because that's what my strobe is on, and then I'm in manual and I am at full power. Okay, we got all the technical stuff out of the way. Now's the fun part. We take photos. Kayla.
Hello.
All right, show me. Look at me. Good. Excellent. That looks gorgeous. And then look towards the reflector to light your face. Yes, remember that's your face light there, even though it's just a piece of board. And now I'm gonna put my timer on so I can press the trigger, stay like that, and then watch this. I'm my own assistant. Ooh. Ooh, it looks so good. Good, and I'm gonna, what? Look how beautiful. The main light is behind her. You're getting light on her face from the reflector, and then the smoke in the air is giving you that atmosphere. It's beautiful. I really encourage you to play. I know all of this can be intimidating and you want to get things right. And people are going to tell you that's not the way to do it. You have to use a meter. You have to know how many stops of light. Pfft, Get out there and have fun and make photos you love. Make mistakes, make things weird. Have an idea where you're like, I don't know if that's gonna work. Maybe it won't, but maybe it will. So experiment and have fun. Let's try some stuff like that. I have some ideas. I see a plant. I feel like this is 70s. Are you seeing it? I'm seeing it. And I'm gonna just put the light behind, the plant behind you.
Okay.
Whoa, look at that different look we're getting. It is blocking the light a bit. Okay, I'm gonna actually put the plant kind of in the light so that it's not blocking it as much.
Okay.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but who cares? We're gonna try it. And if not, we ditch the plant. We experiment, we see. Hold on, stay like that. I like that. You wanna see?
Yes.
Okay, I'm imagining this one cropped in with the plant, so it's just kind of in the background like that. Okay, I have another idea. I'll be right back. I got a funky filter. We're gonna try it.
Got it.
Oh my gosh, Kayla, these are so good.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Neewer, for sending me that light and for making this video possible. They did sponsor this video. If you want to try the Q6 yourself, I have a link down below and I have a coupon code. I believe it's on sale right now, so you can check that out. If you want to learn more about Flash studio portraits, let me know in the comments below and I can make more videos. Thank you, Kayla, and thank you, Frank, and I'll see you all next time.